Make sure you subscribe to JerCrispy.
What's up, y'all? It's your host, with the most, the best most, JerCrispy. Welcome back to another video. Today, what I got y'all is the rock bottom theories. SpongeBob and it's by him. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we're on the road to 100. And yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. Let's see how this theory goes by him.
After watching the episode Rock Bottom, there are a ton of questions and speculations SpongeBob fans have, like, how was Rock Bottom formed? Why was Rock Bottom created? Was there an intention behind the creation of this city, or was the city always here? How does SpongeBob connect to the story of Rock Bottom? I'm sure these questions are circulating past your neurons, and the creators are making sure to hide it. Looks like you're ready for another SpongeBob conspiracy. This is the Rock Bottom Theory. Before we begin the theory, I wanted to say I'm really thankful for all the support from you guys, which led me to 30,000 subscribers. If you're not still subscribed, then please subscribe. Today I'll uncover the dark story of Rock Bottom, the anglerfish, and the bus. This is the scariest episode yet and has a reason behind the story. The theory will cover the truth of why SpongeBob was stuck in Rock Bottom and how was Rock Bottom created. With that being said, here you go. To start off from the beginning, let's go back to Season 1, Episode 17, Rock Bottom. SpongeBob and Patrick are going home from Glove World. They start looking for change for the bus fare and keep smacking the glove balloon at the bus driver's face. Don't forget this guy, he will be important later on. Patrick then notices a sign saying that they are leaving Bikini Bottom. But why didn't the bus stop at Bikini Bottom before leaving Bikini Bottom? Clearly the bus driver intended this, since even after knowing SpongeBob and Patrick wanted to go home, he was refusing to drive them back home.
But sir, we need to get back to Bikini Bottom.
Oh well.
They both start noticing that Rock Bottom is very different from Bikini Bottom.
Rock Bottom? It sure is weird around here. Kinda different. Even the soil looks different.
The soil is different, the language is different, and most importantly, the people are different. They landed in a mysterious city that's never been explored before. This was the first ever debut of Rock Bottom. Patrick waits for the next bus and ends up taking it home. But why on earth did the bus driver let Patrick get in but not SpongeBob? Okay, maybe the most obvious reason would be SpongeBob not paying the fare and smacking the bus driver with a glove balloon. But I don't think this is a valid reason for stranding them. I believe this bus driver was hired by a team to remove him. Maybe annoyed Bikini Bottom residents were behind SpongeBob's solitude. There was even a scene where SpongeBob sprints up the steep road to get the bus but fails to do so. This led SpongeBob to imitating Grandpa SquarePants, who says never run for a bus.
Don't run for a bus. Especially one that's going up at a 90-degree angle.
Especially one that's going up at a 90-degree angle. A question that pops up in my mind. Why would Grandpa SquarePants say this, and is there any deep meaning? Well, we do know in reality the only road going up on a 90-degree angle is a road that separates Bikini Bottom and Rock Bottom. So we know Grandpa SquarePants is referring to the Rock Bottom road. But why? Strictly, the only possible reason is that Grandpa SquarePants was in the same position as SpongeBob when he was visiting Glove World. He must have been annoying just like SpongeBob and was tricked into leaving Bikini Bottom. Luckily, Grandpa SquarePants came back to Bikini Bottom to share his wisdom. But forget him. Let's talk about SpongeBob. Why on earth would everyone want to get rid of SpongeBob? Well, duh, he is annoying. There are several characters in the show that are affected by him, such as
Hold up.
Well, duh, he is annoying. There are several characters in the show that are affected by him, such as
Alright. The only characters that really hate SpongeBob and sometimes love him is Squidward. She likes SpongeBob. That's just Gary. Pearl. It's 3 episodes. I think only like 3 episodes they've been like together. Like it was her birthday when they changed the Krusty Krabs to Cutie Krabs. And I think what was it? What was the last time? It was 3. But I named 2. What was it? What was it? Oh, and they went to prom. Yes, they went to prom together. That's the only time I think they was together. I might have to rewatch SpongeBob again. I don't know. But how y'all think was?
Squidward, Pearl, Mrs. Puff, and sometimes even Plankton. And these are just a couple characters I pointed out. Clearly, Bikini Bottom citizens mapped out a plan to plant a bus with an intended bus driver who is responsible for dropping SpongeBob to rock bottom. SpongeBob begins to wait for the next bus and seems to only show up when SpongeBob is caught off guard. He tries to get the bus a number of times, but every time he gets close, it leaves. Many of you would suggest that this is just the way rock bottom works, that all bus drivers have a low tolerance of waiting, but to me it looks like it's not only intended to prevent SpongeBob from leaving rock bottom, but to kill off all possible hope and desire to get back home. When SpongeBob arrives at rock bottom, he starts to notice the two cities are distinctive and really foreign, from the buildings to the soil. Everything you see looks unrelated, including the inhabitants.
Yeah.
These inhabitants are in fact fish, but look nothing like the fish you see in Bikini Bottom. One of the conspicuous details I noticed was that the fish in rock bottom were glowing. Could these fish be radioactive by any chance? If so, how? Okay. Before we tackle anything serious, let me ask you a simple question. How was rock bottom created? Well, this question may sound really philosophical, right? Let's scratch deep into the surface of this question and ask ourselves, what may have caused a crater just outside Bikini Bottom that separates it from everything else? Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've found the mystery to this unrevealed question. Remember, Bikini Atoll? It's time to tell the world the truth about rock bottom. So we all know that Bikini Atoll was a nuclear testing site located in the Pacific Ocean, where US government performed nuclear testing to perfect the size of nukes. In 1999, when Steven Hillenburg created SpongeBob, he chose a setting to be located at Bikini Bottom, based on the Bikini Atoll Islands. We are all familiar that nuclear explosives carry a range of harmful radiations that cause mutations in cell structures. An example of a real-life situation is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, where the United States detonated explosives to these cities in 1945. Well, studies today suggest that the people are still suffering from the mutations brought out from those sites. Enough of all that. How does all this relate to Bikini Bottom? Well, we know that the fish in Bikini Bottom were evolved to talk and act like humans through the aid of radiation, but what makes the fish in Rock Bottom so special? I think the city of Rock Bottom was in closer proximity to the nuclear testing site, which resulted in a higher level of radioactivity in the city. I mean, the radioactivity is so high.
But how though? Because rock bottom is in the bottom and Bikini Bottom is on top. So how did the Bikini Bottom then turn out? How the rock bottom people turn out to be like? See, that's what y'all gotta be asking questions. Y'all gotta put a question on top of question when y'all be asking
that the soil in rock bottom has linguistic abilities.
Even the soil looks different.
Would you mind putting me down?
Essentially, Bikini Bottom was given just the right amount of radiation for the fish to evolve into walking, talking fish. But Rock Bottom, on the other hand, was given a higher dose of radiation, which led to abnormalities. And if you're questioning how I can prove it's because of radiation, think about this. Why would there be a 90-degree angle road separating Bikini Bottom and Rock Bottom? Well, obviously because the force of the nukes caused a large crater. Did you notice that every fish in Rock Bottom looks different? Every fish except this guy? When SpongeBob sprints for his life, a red fish approaches him to help with balloon travel. That's right, SpongeBob meets a fish that looks very different from the rock bottom fish. He looks exactly like the Bikini Bottom fish, but the only thing different is the glowing thing on his head. I think this fish was trying to blend into rock bottom style, since this fish doesn't look anything like them. Did you notice that the fish itself isn't glowing, but rather the thing on his head? The other fish in rock bottom are luminous, unlike the angular fish. He probably thought of attaching a fake glowtorch on the top of his head to fool the rock bottom inhabitants into thinking he is an angler fish that's local. If you don't believe this fish is from Bikini Bottom, then take a look at this clip.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If this fish
that when I was little, I was like, yeah. It flew through my head when I was little. When I was little, it flew through my head when he said that. I was like, all the other fishes, right? They every time they saying they talk, they like doing that. But when he blew up the balloon for him, he talked normal. He had to be a fish from the Bikini Bottom.
from rock bottom, then why doesn't he talk like the other fish? You know, raspberries after every few words. He speaks the exact same language as bikini bottomers. And most importantly, think about this. He was the only one who knew how to get SpongeBob out of Bikini Bottom through balloon travel. And one question that comes up in my mind, how on earth did he even get there? I'm thinking he was probably forcefully taken there the same way SpongeBob was. But then, why didn't he even go back? Time to scratch beneath the surface.
Unless he died.
After watching Rock Bottom, I noticed it was obviously portrayed that the anglerfish wasn't a Rock Bottom native, but instead suggested to originate from Bikini Bottom. And with all crazy stuff aside, why isn't Incidental 211 making an attempt to use a balloon and go back to his hometown? Well, the most obvious thing floating through your mind is that he got used to it or grown to love life in Rock Bottom. We know for sure that nothing is preventing him from going back to Bikini Bottom if he had the chance to steal SpongeBob's balloon and use it to get back home without returning it. Maybe he wants to live there. Or maybe he's brainwashed to live there. Let me explain. In the episode SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, SpongeBob invited a ton of fish, and in his house we see the glowfish. If the glowfish successfully reached Bikini Bottom, why didn't he stay, or why didn't he attempt to come there in the previous seasons if he was from there? If that doesn't convince you, then take a look at this clip. Tell me what you see.
Why were you waving at us and then running away?
Huh? I can't understand your accent.
SpongeBob finally
What? But SpongeBob should know that he never talked like that though. That's what y'all writers don't be getting, bro. Y'all could have really had an episode and say, "Hello, you never talked like that before, bro. You were talking normal like that, but now you like that. What?"
He makes a return to Rock Bottom, but that's not the point. The glowfish is actually using the native Rock Bottom language and fails to comprehend the Bikini Bottom language. Now you're likely asking me, Sinian, what if this fish just learned the Rock Bottom language and forgot the Bikini Bottom language? Okay, maybe he forgot how to speak like the Bikini Bottomers, but he doesn't even understand the language, which makes no sense. According to a lot of articles, while it's possible to lose part of your native language, it is nearly impossible to completely lose it. And as per the episode Food Truck, it seems that Incidental 211 has no trace of the Bikini Bottom language. Not just that, but he also does not comprehend his native language now. But in Season 1, Episode 17, Rock Bottom, the anglerfish was speaking Bikini Bottom. All these clues point out that Incidental 211 was brainwashed by Rock Bottom fish, but how? Well, it's really hard to find the real reason, but I assume these radioactive fish are convincing him that they are the better and more superior breed as opposed to Bikini Bottom fish. But I think the most logical explanation of how Incidental 211's culture was stripped was through the means of language now. But in Season 1, Episode 17, Rock Bottom, the anglerfish was speaking Bikini Bottom. All these clues point out that Incidental 211 was brainwashed by Rock Bottom fish, but how? Well, it's really hard to find the real reason, but I assume these radioactive fish are convincing him that they are the better and more superior breed as opposed to Bikini Bottom fish. But I think the most logical explanation of how Incidental 211's culture was stripped was through the means
I picked the software engineering program because they pay very well. It's a fast-paced industry. The boot camp allows
of radiation. As we know from the beginning of the theory, these fish are extremely radioactive to the point where they are constantly emitting radio frequencies. This phenomenon is called the photoelectric effect, which is about electrons being emitted when any form of matter is absorbing radiation. Man, this is the first time the high school chemistry teacher actually came in handy. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong, for teaching me chemistry. Some evidence I found in the episode Food Truck suggests that Rock Bottom is a depressing city. When I first watched this episode, I came across a scene where the fish were living inside a fucking coffin. But the intent the writers had was to portray the emptiness of Rock Bottom through a graveyard full of unoccupied graves. This is scary. And on top of all this, you guys keep telling me it's a kid's show. Anyways, the symbolism does not make sense at all since we literally for a fact know that they are alive, right? Oh boy, was I...
So what if Rock Bottom is like when you die? When you die? All your souls go to Rock Bottom. But then y'all be like, well, JerCrispy, you're kind of wrong because they do got a cemetery. What if the cemetery in the Bikini Bottom is full? Or what if these are soulless bodies that never got a cemetery, they die. And they end up in rock bottom. It could be like that. It could be that. It could be that. Man, let me have one of the channels like this. Bro, y'all think I should make a channel like this, bro? And just start talking about cartoons? I don't know. That's just too much information. Doing all that.
Was I wrong? Could these fish be dead? No. They can't be dead. This is a happy show. Heavens to Betsy, what the fuck is this? What am I watching? In the episode The Night Patty, SpongeBob was hitting a night shift and serving to rock bottom inhabitants, and this happens. SpongeBob serves them normal patties, which everybody seems to hate, then flukes his way into making night patties, which everyone seems to love. But what I find weird about the patties are that they are holographic. That's right, these rock bottom fish prefer ghost-looking patties over regular Krabby Patties. This could point out that the rock bottom fish are dead. And if you think about it, it makes real sense. The radioactivity must have caused the death of these fishes. Every single fish, including incidental to 11. Yes, he is dead. Why do I say that? Look at this clip.
Night patties!
The man hates regular food and prefers the night patty. You want to know something that ghosts are really good at? Vanishing. In the food truck episode, we see incidental to 11 vanishing from SpongeBob and Squidward, which prove that he is a ghost.
What? Okay.
I hate to say this, but this fish was killed by all that radiation and brainwashing, which caused him to transmute into a ghost. And this might be a logical explanation on why he never took the glove balloon back to Bikini Bottom. He was dead. May his soul rest in peace. And that, my friends, is the rock bottom theory. Thank you for watching.
What? Wait. But his soul can't not be dead, though. Wait. So basically, my theory is basically kind of right. It's like, I mean, it's kind of right, but like when, if they die, and let's say they die, rock bottom is like basically where all the souls be at. But then y'all gonna say, well, they got a lot of cemetery. What if they ran out of cemetery, and that's extra cemetery for the people? But what if that souls that never got buried? But y'all would have said, well, they had cemeteries right there. So what that would say? Well, that was what it said, and what it damn. That got me on that one. Yeah, I am like, yeah, really got me on that one. No. It would have been different. It would have been more cemetery. So they basically already died. So they basically is ghosts already, but they dead already. Basically, I'm trying to tell you. So they dead already. They already had cemeteries. What if these are the fish before Bikini Bottom? What if all the fishes from Rock Bottom was the fishes before and they died from the radiation and SpongeBob and all them came through? It could be that. See? It could be that. That's my point of theory. I hope y'all enjoy this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 100. And yeah, I see y'all when I see y'all. Love y'all to the bottom of my heart. And we're on the road to 100. Yeah. Bye.